In today's video, we're going to give you 8 amazing ways you can save on your medications, your drug costs, okay? So you're on Medicare, you have Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, and you should also have Medicare Part D as well. And Part D helps with your medications costs, right? So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, then Part D is included, which is Part C, okay? So it's very important that you do enroll in Medicare Part D. If you do not, you will be penalized when you are ready to do so. So please, if you have Medicare Part A and B, you also need Part D as well. All right, so let's get straight into it. Let's talk about some ways that you can save on your drug costs. Even though you have Medicare Part D, doesn't mean that plan covers your medications the best, right? So there are programs out there, discount programs to help pay for medications, such as GoodRx, Single Care, and RX Savior. With these programs, a lot of times you get a lot of discount when it comes to generic medications, but when it comes to name brand, then you may not get the best discount, right? So we're going to go over different ways where you can actually get some help when it comes to, your name brand medications, because a lot of times with your actual drug plan, then the generic medications may be zero anyways. So one of the things that you want to do is when you go to the pharmacy and you have this discount card, such as GoodRx and the other ones that we have just mentioned, you can take both cards to the pharmacy. So you're going to take your GoodRx card or whatever saving program card that you have, and you're also going to bring in your Part D card. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, then you're going to bring that card in, and you let the pharmacy let you know which one is cheaper. So you can't use both, it's either one or the other. And whatever is cheaper, just use that particular card, okay? So that's one thing that you can do to save you some money on your medication costs. Now we're going to go even further and give you the 8 tips that you can use to save on your drug costs. The first tip is you could use mail order. You could use a mail order pharmacy with your health insurance provider, right? And a lot of times when you use the mail order, you get your medications every 90 days, and the medications tend to be cheaper, okay? So if you're okay with getting your medications through the mail, then that may be an option. Go ahead and switch to the mail order pharmacy. The second tip is do a medication review with your primary care doctor. Let your doctor know all of the medications you're on. Maybe you see a specialist and the specialist puts you on a heart medication or whatever the case may be, right? So you want to do a drug review with your doctor and see if you can get switched on a medication that is a lot cheaper that does the same thing that the medication is supposed to do, right? Say, for example, you're on a medication that is a tier 4 or a tier 3. Maybe you could be on a tier 1 or 2 that actually does the same thing that would bring your copay to maybe 0 versus having a copay with that medication because you're taking a higher tier medication. The third thing you may want to look into is looking at your brand name drugs and seeing if you can actually switch to a generic medication. Now, some individuals cannot take the generic medication because the formulary or however that medication is made does not work well with your body, with your system. So just check with your doctor to see if it's okay to switch that medication to a generic medication. The fourth thing that you may want to look into is seeing if your doctor actually has samples of some of the medications that you're on. A lot of times pharmaceutical companies will give doctors samples of medications for their patients to try. So just ask your doctor if they have samples and see if that is actually an option. They could have samples that could probably last you 3 to 6 months. You never know if you don't ask. The fifth thing that you definitely want to check out is research for manufacturer discount drug programs, okay? Now, some programs would disqualify you because you have Medicare Part D, but not all of them have this requirement. So see what the requirements are and see if you can apply for some of these programs. You may be surprised and you may be saving yourself thousands of dollars by enrolling in one of these programs. The sixth thing that you may want to look at is ordering from a Canadian pharmacy. These pharmacies' medications tend to be a lot cheaper than the medications here in the US. So this is a great option for individuals that do take a lot of brand name medications. So it may be a good idea to check it out. You want to compare what you're paying and let them know the medications that you're on and kind of compare to see what makes the best sense. The seventh thing that you can do if you qualify is apply for extra help through the SSA.GOV website. This program will limit the amount that you would pay for generic drugs and brand name drugs. So I would definitely check out extra help and apply if you qualify for the income requirements. And the last tip is you definitely want to look into a chronic special needs plan if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, also known as Medicare Part C. Of course, if this plan does exist in your state and your zip code. With these chronic special needs plans, they're designed for individuals with certain chronic conditions, and a lot of the times the medications on those plans are cheaper because they're tailored to help you manage a certain disease, such as diabetes, COPD, and heart conditions. So I definitely recommend that you compare the chronic special needs plan with the regular plan and see what makes sense and see if the medications are actually cheaper on that chronic special needs plan. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot today on how to save money on your medication costs. If you have a friend and they need this information, please share this video with a friend. And if you have any questions, leave your comments below, like this video, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And if you need any help, you can always give our office a call. We'd be more than happy to assist. We help our clients with Medicare, marketplace health insurance, and so much more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!